Welcome to the AI Automations for Business podcast. We're your hosts, Katie and Noel, and we'll be discussing how you can use AI for your business along with the latest news, updates, and automations to help you stay ahead of the curve, allowing you to grow and scale your business more efficiently. Please be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode. Hi, hello, I'm Katie, and as always, I've got Noel here with me. Hi, Noel.
Hello, yeah, good to be here. I'm looking forward to diving into today's topic.
I thought you might be. So today we are talking all about custom GPTs, what they are, why they matter for business owners, and I feel, Noel, you've been playing around with custom GPTs for quite some time. I feel like you must, because I feel like I've known about them for quite a long time. So you've obviously been in my ear talking about them.
Yeah, I started building them as soon as they released them, which was the end of 2023. So yeah, it's been a while. I've created quite a few during that
It's been
time.
a couple of years.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, I feel quite excited about this because I feel like there is so much untapped potential for business owners with a custom GPT.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. You can. It makes it a lot easier. So yes, you could automate with tools, whereas I think with this is really beginner friendly. Nice and easy to.
Let's just start from the very beginning. So someone might be listening to this and being like, what even is a custom GPT? So Noel, can you break it down for us really simply? What is a custom GPT?
So what a custom GPT is, it's a way in which you can train. Basically, you're training your own little agent, and you can train it on anything that you wish. So it could be for any use case. You can give it specific instructions and then say, well, look, I need, this particular output every single time, so you can train it on your documents. You can get it to do web searches. You can do it to create images. There's all kinds of different things you can do. So it's kind of like a real cheat sheet to get to the end goal on ChatGPT. So if you have something really specific, then custom GPTs are the way ahead.
Yeah, I feel like a custom GPT almost acts like another version of you, or even like a digital team member. And what I love is that you can actually do this without coding, because I know there are a couple of different ways that you can do it.
Yes, there are two ways to do it. So first of all, to get access to custom GPTs, you do need a paid ChatGPT account. So you don't need to be on the super duper $200. As long as you're on I think it's the core plan for $20. As long as you're on there, you should all be good to go. But yeah, to create one, they've got like a GPT explore area, and then right in the top right hand corner of that page is a little create button. And once you're in there, there's two options to build them. So you could chat to technically ChatGPT to help you create the custom GPT you want. So you can just, type it all out in plain language and describe what you want this GPT to do. Or you could go a bit deeper, and then there's a configure tab where you can, go through and you can define the system prompt. You can then add all the files that you need access to. You can, add and remove different services. So if you don't want it going off and searching the web, you can, untick that option. And there's all kinds of things. You can link it into APIs, and it gets very technical. And that's on the configure tab.
Yeah.
But you can still, you can switch between the two. So let's say you start creating one in plain language and you're like, well, I'm not quite sure this is 100% right. You can then go into the configure tab and then see what it's done and then make those edits as well. So yeah, really easy to get started.
Okay. So why do people want to create one? Maybe someone's still on the fence and they're like, why go through this effort of like creating one. So
Yeah,
for me, I feel like it saves a lot of time.
definitely. Loads and loads of time. So if like every week or every day you're asking ChatGPT to do something for you, whether it be creating content or answering certain questions, and every single time you're like, well, this isn't giving me a consistent output, because every time you could ask the same question 6 times and get 6 different answers. But if you're running into that sort of issue, then maybe a custom GPT is the way forward, because you can go in there and say, well, look, this is the output format that I want. This is an example of something good that I want to receive back. And then it goes, sure, okay, well, what, and you can just go off and ask those custom GPTs those questions, and you get it, I'd say 90% right every time. Let's not go with 100%.
Yeah.
They can go astray
Yeah, because
sometimes.
I would say the consistency's definitely all over the place if you're just using ChatGPT. Whereas I feel
Yes.
like the consistency, if you're using a custom GPT, is a lot higher.
Oh, way, way higher. Yeah. Yeah. It really gets into those instructions. So if you've really embedded that within the prompt, within the GPT, then yeah, you're just going to get it in that structure every time.
Yeah.
Honestly, it works two ways as well. You could have it so it's less structured if that's the way you want to roll. That's fine, but it's still got access to the information that you've given it as well. So it's still accurate and gives you what you need.
Yeah, you're not having to put in that same information every time you're using ChatGPT.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It'd be like, here's my PDF that's about my brand voice.
Yeah.
And then you go, now create me the content. Whereas if you create a GPT that has that document embedded in it, you can just go to it and say, create me the content about whatever you want to talk about, and it will go off and use that document to create it, things like that. So
Yeah. And I know from the work that we've done for other people, it improves client experience as well.
Definitely. Yeah. You can give them, I mean, I guess for some clients, you could give them access to information that's maybe like FAQs and things like that, so they can get instant support from a custom GPT instead of, sat around waiting for you to answer an email, or, or maybe not getting the answer they need from your chatbot on the website or whatever, they can just get that information straight away. Yeah. They're really helpful.
Or they're kind of like not sat there waiting for you to come online in like maybe like a membership area, because I know like we'll probably talk about this in a moment. I mean, let's go into it right now, I guess. But
Yeah.
for example, like Noel has built before chatbots for memberships. So if a member has a question or doesn't know where to find something within the membership area, Noel built this chatbot that was actually quite fun, and people could just put their question or what they needed help with into this chatbot, and it would come back and find the answer.
Absolutely. Yeah. It had a real fun persona. So that's also something you can bake into your custom GPTs. So if you don't like the same boring AI response, you can add that in there as well. So it makes it a bit more fun and interactive. But yeah, for that chatbot, I also created a custom GPT. So when we was interacting with people in comments and things like that in the community feed, we could interact with them, and use that same persona. So we could put their comment or post into the custom GPT, and it would come back with a response using that exact same persona that they would get from the chatbot within the platform. So yeah,
and I think
was
this
quite
is
fun.
great as well, because obviously I've done community management for a couple of different memberships, and even though people know you aren't the person who runs the business, they've joined because they like the tone and the vibe of that person. So you have to be very careful, like how you are responding to members. So very often you get trained in their tone of voice. So, you know, replying to any customer support emails or replying to any questions, comments in the community, you have to be kind of like, you know, is this how they would respond? So this like custom, you know, chatbot that you built allowed that to happen with, you know, without then having to spend time training members of staff. And, you know, the worst thing as well is when you have like a really great member of staff and for whatever reason, you know, they leave, you then have to like start all over again, and people have to, you know the knowledge of the membership and understand the tone of voice and things like that all over again.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hard bit. But with this, you could share that GPT with the entire team. So you got your company voice is in that GPT, and you could share that with everyone, and everyone gets the same outputs, which is, you know, that's going to be far better than, you know, 10 people firing up 10 instances of ChatGPT asking questions differently and then hoping they're
Yeah.
going to get a similar answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not really going to happen.
Yeah. So let's go into some like while we're here talking about it, let's go into like some other real use case studies for like
Yeah.
business owners with custom GPTs. So something that I have used myself is like a course curriculum builder. So you know, you can create your GPT to kind of like just help you map out a course. So you can like tell it like, I want to create a course on this subject. It's going to be, I don't know, 6 weeks long, or it needs to have at least 2 hours worth of training. Can you like build me the curriculum? And then I think sometimes when you've just got like the bones of the course, as it were, like the outline, I feel like then it's so much easier to go and write the course yourself. So you're not asking, you know, ChatGPT to write your whole course for you. You're just asking for like an outline to kind of get you started.
Yeah, I've done similar things myself for the courses I've created, because it's one thing having the idea about what you're going to train people on, but then it's, for me, it's quite another thing to figure out, well, which sections does it logically make sense to train this in? You know, how should I
Yeah.
break all this information down?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you've got so much knowledge in one particular topic, it's kind of like, well, yeah, sometimes it's really hard to go like, right, well, how do I just, you know, instead of making this, you know, a 3-year course, how can I just, you know, zone in and concentrate on one bit so it's only like an hour or 2 hours? And also, I think as well, like you were saying, it's really good because it will help you put things in like a logical order. Whereas,
Yeah.
like in the past before, I've gone to create courses and I've gone, right, well, I want them to learn this. And I'm like, but actually, in order them to know this, you know, there's a bit that needs to come before that. And now actually does the order make sense? So even something like that can save you a lot of time. And I think as well, it takes away that like writer's block as well, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely helped me a hell of a lot. But once you've created that output, so let's say, you know, the first time you run it, your curriculum might come out slightly different, maybe not in the right sort of way, and then, you know, you might give it another go and be perfect. Or you could then copy that perfect one back into the custom GPT and then say, well, look, this is a really good one. And then the next time you go to create a course, it'll be in that exact layout, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, that follow that same format. So all of your training that you do follows that same consistent style as well. So yeah, really powerful.
Yeah. So you can even have like custom GPTs that you know, you can give them like team or like job roles, can't you?
Yeah, it's really quite fun because you could basically create like a job specification. I mean, you get ChatGPT to create that or find one online for like a specific role. Say if you want like a chief technical officer, for your business, you could pre-program a custom GPT that will act as your CTO, so you can ask it all kinds of questions, and have that back and forth like you would do with a normal employee, So as like a solopreneur, you kind of got to wear all of those different hats, whereas now you can put those hats into a custom GPT and then just sit there chatting to them all, which is really quite cool use case for them. Yeah, and then also you can give them a fun persona as well. They don't have to be boring, They could have a bit of flair and style in there.
Yeah, like you could almost like you can give them like celebrity personalities as well, can't you?
Yes. Yeah, I once created an agent on the persona of Ron Burgundy from the Anchorman films.
Wow.
That was
how was that working with that sort of personality?
It's actually quite good. It was brilliant. Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, in the end, you didn't really get any work done, but yeah.
Yeah, so probably not the best person to base it on.
Yeah,
but it goes
fun,
to
but
show,
not too
like,
fun.
but it goes to show, like, if you've got a favourite celebrity or film star, I would quite like to see what Reese Witherspoon would come out like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. That'd be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I feel...
who was it? They were like a Ryan Reynolds giving you no nonsense advice. That'd be quite.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like Kristen Wiig or Amy Poehler, Tina Fey. Like, they're all obviously really funny comedians that do a lot for like SNL. So I just feel like, but then maybe it goes back to like the Ron Burgundy, like, how much work are you actually going to get done?
Exactly. Yeah.
I think you need to be careful when choosing the personality for your custom GPTs.
Yeah. We were sat down having a virtual scotch and clinking glasses at one point. I thought that was the point. I thought this has gone a bit too far.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, you've also created some custom GPTs inside of AI Business Club, where you're guiding members through, aren't you, step by step to build brand voice, ideal client, and you've also got a make.com assistant in there.
Yes.
Do you want to just tell us a little bit more about those ones that you've created?
Yeah. So with the brand voice, that's quite an easy one actually. When our members use that GPT, all they need to do is like input some text examples of their content, their written content, obviously written by them, not by AI.
Yeah.
So they can put that either as like a document, or they could copy paste it into the chat, and then all they got to do is hit enter, and away it goes and creates a really comprehensive brand voice, which you can then use to, you could then copy that out and then put that into your own custom GPT, which is trained on that information. So it's a bit circular, but it gets you started for creating a brand voice if you've never created one before. Really, really cool that one is. The other one with the ideal client, you're kind of like describing your business and then what sort of services you want to provide, who you're looking to target. And then it goes into quite a bit of detail about these people, not quite down to shoe size, but it's almost to that point. It goes into so much information that it's like, well, this is what they like doing. It gives them like names, ages, locations, all of the interesting stuff that you might want to know and to understand your ideal clients and things like that. So all of that information comes out. So that's a really simple text prompt to get that started.
Yeah, and it also goes into like the emotional side as well of your ideal client as well.
Yes, what they're struggling with, and
what they've tried. Exactly. Because I feel like that is something that a lot of people actually miss out on, like, as well, with their ideal client. And like I think people forget like how much people buy based on emotions. So yeah, just having that in there, I know has helped people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the third one is the make.com assistant. So I don't know I've noticed recently they seem to have moved their help AI in the builder. They seem to have changed that. So I'm guessing they're getting ready for Mia at some point, which is going to, take that to the next level. But the GPT that I've built is kind of, I would say, a Mia light. So you could describe to it and say, well, I want to take emails from my Gmail account, and then I want to then have AI that will go through, maybe do like some tasks to say, well, is this like a sales email? Is this, and categorize it and all that sort of stuff, and then generate responses. And what the assistant does is it goes, right, okay, well, I'm going to go off and find out about Make, and then it comes back and then gives you like a step-by-step guide on how to build the automation. So you go, right, well, to start off with, you need the Gmail module, and it will tell you what information to put in and then how to connect it into OpenAI or whichever AI you want to use. And then it will then be like, right, well, you need to link this data in this field, and it takes you through that step-by-step process. It might not be 100% perfect. It everything that I've tested so far, it's got right, and yeah, it's been really helpful for some of our members.
That's good.
Hmm.
And obviously you had to create one for make.com now,
Oh, of
obviously.
course I did, yeah. I had to shoehorn them in the episode somehow, didn't I?
uh, so I think when you're creating your custom GPT, like you have to think like, what problems do you want to solve? What tasks do you want it to help you with? Your tone, give it a personality. It can be your personality, it could be someone unhinged. What information can you upload to train it, if that's something that is required from it? And then don't forget to like test and refine it and tweak if needs be. But yeah, like no, when should you be like build in a custom GPT?
It's when you're doing stuff repetitively, at least once a week. Like for us, we've got one that helps us with our podcast. So every week I just nip in there with the transcript and then go, right, now create, the ideas for the titles and descriptions and that sort of good stuff and the show notes.
Yeah.
So that's something we do every single week. So that's something that's really good to tackle. But yeah, it's whenever you're doing anything specific, whether it always needs to be repeatable or you always need something out in the same format, and you don't really want to go through the pain of describing the output format every single time. That can get very annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So yeah.
gonna add as well to the list, like when you want to provide like a seamless customer service.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add that one in. And also when you want to be able to have more clients or customers, but you don't actually have any more time, or you don't want to give any more time to it.
Yeah. Or it's even like sharing things within a team. So if you want your team to be using the same, sort of outputs or using the same information, then, having them having a consistent experience as well. So they're really good points for creating a custom GPT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we've given like custom GPTs like good PR here.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And they deserve it. They are really good. Really, really
Yeah,
good.
I think they're brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Claude released Skills the other week. That's kind of edging into this sort of space, but it is slightly different and a bit harder harder to do. So I think, GPTs are still leading the way when it comes to creating this sort of thing.
Yeah. And of course, like, people don't have to figure this out alone. We've created some in AI Business Club. We also guide members, step by step how to build their own. For example, as well, we've done like the ideal client one, the brand voice, make.com assistant as well. So yeah, if you do want some hand holding creating your own custom GPT, then we can definitely support you with that inside the membership. And we're there to answer any questions and provide you with live help. We don't have a customer service bot in there. It is just Noel and I. So
Or is
yeah,
it?
you're not going to get some unhinged answer from Ron Burgundy. Yeah, and
Yeah.
really, it's just Noel's custom GPT.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Thankfully, I don't talk like Ron either. So yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a blessing for everyone.
very true.
Yeah. So we will put the link below if you want to come and join us, or if you've got any questions about AI Business Club, then just reach out to either of us. Thanks so much for listening to this week's podcast. If you liked it, please leave a review or a thumbs up in the relevant place, and we will see you for another episode very soon.